What's up, guys? I'm going to do a quick video on my 2004 Mazda RX8. I attempted to make a video yesterday, but after I posted it I realized the first half stopped unexpectedly in the middle of it, so we're going to retry this. This is a 2004 Mazda RX8. This has the twin rotor 13B Renesis 6-port engine. It's a 6-speed manual transmission. Some of the stuff I've done to it, I've done the red Mazda emblems. These wheels are actually off of a Mazda Speed 6 that I've done in black. I did not plastidip them because that stuff is ghetto. This is actually automotive paint. This was done the correct way. This was not a hack job, so anybody want to ask me if it's plastidip? No, it is automotive paint. That's black. I added the Mazda Speed stickers. The calipers are red. Word of warning, if you're going to paint your calipers red, be sure you're going to keep them clean because they look like crap right now. Anyway, I put the Sickspeed spike lug nuts on it, front and rear, both sides of course, and added the eyelids to the headlights. Nice little aggressive look. Like I said, this is a 2004. I bought this car for $3,600, and as I make my way to the other side, I'm going to hide my tag because of the trolls. That is the Mazda emblem on the back in red. I've done Mazda and the RX8 emblems in black, and I actually do have a catback exhaust. It's a Speed Daddy eBay exhaust. You can see a little damage to the bumper there, but that's really about the only body damage on the cars. This little spot here and that little spot there. See, this side's pretty clean as well. There's no damage, no body damage on this side. I smoked the front corner markers just to finish the blacked out look of the car. I'll give you a quick look at the inside. This is a 2004 model. This body style ran from I want to say 04 to about 2009 ish. I don't remember exactly when they stopped with the with this body style. They changed it to the second generation, but anyway, the seats are not leather. I wish they were. They're cloth, but they're in pretty good shape. The interior looks good. Sunroof. Like I said, 6-speed manual trans. I'm not going to start it, but I'm going to turn the key over and show you how many miles are on it. This car's got 123,639 miles on the original Renesis engine. This is the first motor in this car. These engines are very finicky. They require a lot of attention, but if they are taken care of, as they should be, then you can get the most out of these engines. They're not, I've heard people with horror stories about them. You know, they have 80,000 miles on the car and they're already on their third motor. Well, it's because they don't know how to take care of one of these motors. And honestly, this engine is no harder to take care of than a conventional piston engine. It just requires you keep a check on the oil, which you should be doing anyway in any motor. And with these motors, carbon builds up on the rotors and you have to rev them to keep the stuff blowed out. But other than that, there's really not a whole lot of maintenance to these motors. Some of you know this engine has 3 moving parts inside of it. Has 2 rotors and 1 eccentric shaft. And it's very simple in how it works, but it is very expensive to rebuild. It's for a quality rebuild for parts and labors, pretty close to $4,000. But anyway, the radio on this one didn't work when I first got it. Actually, none of the climate control or anything worked when I got it. And if you take the radio out, this face is actually separate from the CD player itself. If you take this out, there's 4 screws that hold the face to the actual CD player, about right here and about right here. And what happens is the little bushing that is set into the plastic on the face will actually pull out over time, and you have a connection right here and a connector over here and those connections come loose, and you lose all power to all your climate control, your radio, and all of this up here. The only thing it'll show is, I think it shows the time. But anyway, when I first got this car, none of that worked. After about 5 minutes of having the radio out, I reinserted those plastic bushings into the plastic with some epoxy. I took them out, put epoxy in, pushed them back in. Once it hardened, I screwed everything back together, put it in, and hadn't had any trouble with it since. As you can see, it works, but it's not a hard process if you're having trouble with it. There are some common problems with these cars. One of them is the visors will break. Luckily, I still have a driver's side, but if you notice right there, it's starting to come apart. So, but normally these things crack, and you can see this one's not, probably doesn't have long. Another common problem other than that in the radio is the dash. You see this one's been covered with suede. I took this panel out, which is the entire airbag and everything. I took this one out, and I took this part around the gauges off and covered them in suede because they were both cracked up pretty bad. And replacements are fairly pricey. They're pretty proud of them. So I just bought some suede for a few bucks and recovered it myself. And what's some more common problems? Let's see here. Another common problem is going to be rust around the spoiler. If you can see right here, rust will form around the spoiler on these cars. I've actually taken the wing off and cleaned this one, but you can see it starting to build up in there. It's not really bad. It looks worse than it really is, but either way, I'm going to have it fixed. You see it right there. And let's pop the hood and I'll show you what the engine looks like. There's not much to look at, honestly. It's mostly covers and whatnot, but and she is in all of her glory. This actually had a K&N intake on it, the Typhoon intake system, when I bought it. I looked it up. That's about a $350 intake that I got on here. I'm eventually going to do the gas strut for the hood. You pop this off. This is where you check and add oil if needed. Oil goes in here. Dipstick is right there. I painted the strut bar red myself. I thought it needed a little something in here. This car was pretty nasty when I got it. It had sat in a pasture for 2 years, and it needed a little TLC. So, but yeah, this is my RX8. I'm really happy with it so far. I've heard I was a little hesitant about buying it because all of the horror stories I've heard about these cars, but if they're well maintained, you have nothing to worry about. It's got factory fog lights. It comes factory with HIDs in the low beams. Has a cracked windshield. I'm eventually going to get that fixed. Got a nice crack all the way across, but luckily it's lower than my line of sight, so I got lucky there, I suppose. And this is a really cool 4-door configuration. My insurance is like 30 bucks a month for full coverage because it's considered a 1.3 liter 4-door. So yeah, that's that. If you guys have any comments, if you like the car, if you don't like the car, let me know. If you've had one and had a good experience or bad experience, let me know. I'd like to hear about it. Either way, it looks like somebody actually tried to break in here at one time. Before I got it, there were 3 big dents up here where somebody had pried on it and tried to jack their way into it, and they didn't make it. But the guy that owned it before me, he done a little bodywork magic on it for me and fixed that. And the previous owner to him actually backed it up into something and snatched the whole corner of the bumper right here, peeled it back, knocked that out, tore the fender up. I replaced the fender, and he repaired the bumper. This used to crack all the way from here all the way down. You can still see a little bit of the damage right there, but it's not bad enough to worry about, so I'm not going to worry about it. But You can't see the crack anymore, that's for sure. So, but anyway, I think it turned out good. But I give $3,600 for this car as it sits with new tires, fender and everything. I still have less than 4,500 in it. And with any luck, it's got 30 or 40,000 more miles in it. I don't have any hot starting issues yet. Normally that's one of the things with these motors before they go. You'll get hot starting problems when it'll start fine when it's cold, but once it warms up and you shut it off, like you drive down to the gas station to get something to drink, and put gas in it. When you get in it, start it back up, everything's heated up and it's worked in. You normally have trouble them getting them to start if you're having if your engine's on the verge of failure. Pretty much the apex seals will wear out and it'll cause hot starting problems. But anyway, like I said, if you guys like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If you've got a horror story of your own about a RX8, let me know. I'd like to hear about it. Hit me up in the comment section down below and hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Thumbs up. Thanks.